it's a cyclical tilt to what's working. With some of those growth tech names just pausing after Friday's bounce.
Yeah, in that sense, pretty familiar internal dynamics. Well, small caps as well actually had a bit of a flutter to the downside, also made up most of that. So it's pretty similar to a lot of what we've been seeing, which is underlying it is a rotation toward faster economic growth, reflation. You have energy and materials up today, and there's still a little bit of just steady pressure on the big cap growth names. You know, maybe that's getting into some kind of more of an equilibrium over time. We're still above the lows, recent lows on NASDAQ. So it doesn't change the overall story, still in that kind of churning reset period that we've been in for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Information technology sector in the S&P is only up 3% year to date, Mike. So how are we to read, Victor, I'll send it to you. How are you to read the weakness and underperformance in tech? Is it a signal for the rest of the broader market, or just the rotation?
Well, I think if you were to look at the market action last week, I think that's what sort of spooked the market on Thursday. And I think you saw the VIX go into backwardation as sort of that sell-off was less contained to just technology and small caps. I think what you're seeing here today is a little bit more dispersion in the markets. In other words, the concentration of selling, for the most part, is in, those technicals, some of the longer duration names in the marketplace. And you're starting to see, again, the cyclical trade, which had broken down for a very short period of time, sort of reemerge here today, as Mike mentioned, with energy, with materials. And in a way, XLP or the staples are sort of acting as a capital preservation vehicle today, as you might expect.
Let's dive deeper into the tech trade, because it was another rough day. It is another rough day for semiconductor stocks. SMH, that's the ETF, now down 10% in the last month. But Citigroup says buy the dip in the chip stocks. That firm saying the recent red flags in data like negative PC sales and lower cell phone forecasts will pressure the sector, but longer term, semis will bounce back. Citi says it would use the current weakness to buy Micron and XPI on semiconductors and Texas Instruments, which are the firm's top picks in the chip sector. Mike, so much noise around this sector given the geopolitical concerns, the supply shortages, and just the fact that they've been a leadership group within tech. How do the stocks look?
I mean, it's sort of, this sort of rolling pullbacks that we've seen in the entire market, starting with the most speculative names, as Mike Wilson was talking about, did reach semis.